Hi, Bob the Canadian here. As you learn English, you'll want to sound as much like a native English speaker as you can. One of the best ways to sound more like a native speaker is to use reductions. Reductions are when we take sentences like, I want to eat ice cream, and we reduce it to I wanna eat ice cream. You'll notice that we take the two words want to and we kind of squish them together into a new word which isn't really a word, wanna. So we say things like I want to eat ice cream, but when we say them out loud we say I wanna eat ice cream. In this English lesson I will teach you 10 English reductions that will help you sound more like a native English speaker. So the next reduction I want to teach you takes the words let me and it kind of squishes them into a new word, lemme. I know it looks kind of funny, but we do say this. We take sentences like, let me show you how to do that, and we compress it into, let me show you how to do that. The next reduction I want to teach you takes the words going to and it squishes them into the word gonna. Again, I do want to remind you that the reductions themselves aren't real words. They're just how we say it out loud when we say it quickly. So I could say that tonight I am going to eat ice cream, and the reduced form would be tonight I'm gonna eat ice cream. Notice how I took the words going to and I squished them into the word gonna. So my son sometimes can buy lunch at school, but he doesn't always have money. So sometimes he will say, hey, can you give me money to buy lunch today? But what he actually says is, hey, can you give me money to buy lunch today? So another reduction is when we take the words give me and we squish them together to make the word gimme. So I hope you're enjoying the fact that I'm putting sentences on the screen and then pretending to squish them, because I could have just stood in front of a whiteboard to teach this lesson, or I coulda just stood in front of a whiteboard. So the phrase could have, we take the words could have, is another reduction. When we say this in spoken English, we usually say coulda. So sometimes there are things that we must do. There are things that we have to do. Right now, I have to make this video quickly because the sun is coming out. But if I said this with a reduction, I would say, I have to make this video quickly. We take the words have and to, and we squish them again into a new word, have to. Again, remember, these new words are not words that you would write down. They are simply how we say the reduction when we are speaking English quickly, or when we are speaking as a native English speaker would speak. So sometimes my students won't know the answer to the question I'm asking, and they will say, I don't know. This is probably one of the most common reductions in English. I don't know, and it's probably one that you've heard before. Sometimes they just use the contraction and say, I don't know. But rarely do they actually say, I do not know. They don't usually say the full and proper sentence. Usually I hear, I don't know, or I don't know. Usually it's I don't know. So sometimes I will have a student come to class without a pen, and they will say they can't do any work because they don't have anything to write with. And I'll usually ask them, don't you have a pen in your locker? But usually I'll use a reduction and I'll say, doncha have a pen in your locker? Doncha is kind of a funny one. It's when we take don't you and we squish it into doncha. And it sounds a little funny even when I say it right now, but it is a reduction that we use all the time. Often I will say to people, don't you have a pen in your locker? Don't you have a pencil in your pencil case? So this next reduction takes the words got and you and it squishes them into either got ya or gotcha. So a full sentence would be, I got you some coffee from the coffee shop. Or if I reduce it, I could say, I got you some coffee from the coffee shop, or I gotcha some coffee from the coffee shop. So sometimes people go and do something fun, and when they come back, you might say, did you have a good time? But what you would probably actually say is, did ya have a good time? We take the words did and you and we kind of squish them into did ya. A weird looking word, but it is actually what we say a lot in English. Did you have a good time? Well, hey, thanks for watching this video on English reductions. I hope that you were able to learn a lot of them. I hope me squishing sentences on the screen will help you remember them. I'm Bob the Canadian and you are learning English with me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click that red subscribe button if you are new here, and give me a thumbs up if this video helped you learn just a little bit more English.